Well, hi everybody, this is DearMamaSal, and this is part 2 of Mercury in retrograde. Well, we left off the previous video with my having had a flood in my tool shed, a horrible flood, having met some drivers from you-know-where, and now this is what happened for the rest of my week. I started off with the following. Well, hi everybody, this is DearMamaSal, and I'm out and about with somebody who apparently owns the road. I'm coming the other way, and don't they know it's my road? And as usual, we're coping with love, life, and other problems. And today I am doing two things, both of them achievements in some way. As some of you know, this week I've been working on actually planning my days and seeing how many things on that list I can actually get through in a day. Now, the first thing is that it definitely does work. And when I say it does work, I have managed to take step forward on a number of things I have been procrastinating about for the longest time. Now, I'm pretty sure that none of you procrastinate, so this probably has no relevance in your life whatsoever. Yeah, right. So, literally, what I've been doing is taking my different goals in life at the moment and saying, what's the one next step? And that's all I'm working on, one step forward on every one of my goals. Now, for example, I really want to get my trailer out and do a trip. And for the longest time, I've been procrastinating about it because I've got a problem with my trailer. The problem is that every time I turn the electricity, as you call it in the States, hydro in Canada, and electricity, I think, still in England, but every time I plug in, it's setting off my heater, my propane heater. And that's just draining all the propane out of the tank. And obviously we can't have that going on. I can imagine being in the middle of summer and the propane heater coming on just because I plugged in. So obviously there's something horribly wrong. Now, I've got a couple of choices. Number one is that I can hook it all up and take it to the local shop. That would be one choice. The other thing is that I could have somebody come out and fix it, because it's what I call not a major thing, it's a small thing. I don't think it would require hauling the rig all the way to where it would need to go. So it might be far less problem, probably more expensive, but far less problem to just have them come out and check it out. So that was a thought. And the third option would be not to use it. Well, I don't know how many years I've got left of being able to hook up a trailer and getting out of Dodge, as they say. So I'm going for option 2 first of all. Now, there is a third option. That's right, there was a third option, which is to phone up the dealership and have them come and send somebody to collect it. Now, that's pretty darn lazy, but even that might be worth it. So, and then take it to where it needs to go and have them return it. Now, that is the lazy route, but quite honestly, why not? Depending on how much they charge. So my first thing I'm doing today, actually I lied, the second thing I'm going to do today is fill up the propane tank, which is in the back. Now, I'm probably have to be quite honest and say, I think the reason I've procrastinated so long is I don't like the idea of driving around with a propane tank in my... So I thought, well, it's not going to be a problem because, I can just open all the windows and make sure that it's not a build-up. And luckily I don't smoke anymore. That could be a big boom. But then, of course, it's raining today. So there we have the typical situation that would make me procrastinate even more. Oh, well, it's raining, so I won't be able to open the windows, therefore, da-da-da-da-da-da. No, not going to happen. So the interesting thing is, from what I remember about being an RV, is propane is inclined to drop. It doesn't go up, it drops. So basically the only intelligent way to ventilate it would be to leave the doors open, which I don't think I can do. Nice idea there. Can you imagine it? How many of you got that picture? Sal driving down the road with all the doors open. Yep. Okay, so what's the first thing I'm doing is I am here because we wish to announce it is not working well enough to be able to broadcast anymore, death of the backup computer. Now, as some of you know, I already lost my main computer about a month ago, which wasn't a problem because I had the backup. And now the backup is totally overloaded. And it's just not doing the job because it's state of the art. And so I've had to buy another computer, and I'm going to go and pick it up now. Now, you and I both know that once I got that picked up, I'm going to spend the rest of the afternoon and evening trying to get everything loaded in. And you all know that that's going to be not a fun job and probably quite frustrating. So I'm thinking candy floss, you know, cotton candy would go down really well about now. But then I need to tell you, I actually lost quite a bit of weight this week by being a bit more careful about what I eat. Okay, so here I am back again, and I've just got to give a lot of credit to the young men at Best Buy. And the reason for that is these guys don't work on commission. And you know, it's really funny because you can actually feel the level of service is different because of that. And let me give you an example. I was smart enough to ask just before I bought the computer that I had seen online. It's got to be a good reason why it's such a good price and what am I missing. And I said it really as much as anything, a little tongue-in-cheek. And the guy just looked at me and said, "What are you actually looking for?" Oh. And I told him, and he said, whoa, wait a minute. And it turned out that one of the major things that I was looking for even for my backup was not in that particular computer. So I was really thankful, and they helped me still get the same price, but get the things I was looking for. Funny enough, at exactly the same price. A much better computer. So I changed brands and got not everything I was looking for, but just about everything that I need for a backup computer. Actually, everything that I need for a backup computer. It just lacks a little bit of speed, and I was prepared to sacrifice that for a backup and traveling computer. So, but all credit to them for bothering to help and make it easy for me. Now, I'm at Home Depot because I want to get a propane tank exchanged, but it's Saturday. Do I really want to be going through the crowds to do this? And I'm thinking no. So I think I'm going to go to the... Yeah, it's packed here. So I'm going to go to the store, what do you call it, gas station, and pay probably a little bit more, but they'll lift it for me, and I deserve that, right? Okay, see you later. Well, I got to the gas station, and guess what? They're out. So now I've got to find another one. Now, you know the voice in my head is going, just go home, get it another day. No, I'm gonna go and find a propane tank. So there, voice in my head, I am going to have that achievement today because it's important to me. Okay, so my patience is getting very severely tried right now. Guess what? They're out of propane as well. Apparently it's that time of the year where everybody's filling up their tanks for their barbecues, but I want it for my trailer. Or I could get really smart and tell them to bring a tank with them when they come to service it. That would be being very lazy, Sal, and you'll probably pay way more. Okay, let me just see here. Okay, onward. Good news is that I got a tank. The bad news is that I had to buy a new one because my old one had expired, which I did not expect. I thought it was only a couple of years old. Apparently it's not. So that cost me 3 times the amount of money. I don't know what it costs in your part of the world, but to get a new propane tank for my trailer just cost me just on $70 Canadian. Never mind, I got a tank. That's what I came out to get, and God damn it, I've got it. Alright, so I'm very proud of myself for not quitting on it. But you also know that it's part of my goal every day to interact and make somebody smile. Well, when I was at the gas station, so I'm always looking for opportunities, I guess that's it. Well, I certainly made the lady serving me at the gas station smile because I speak some Punjabi, and she was very, very happy about that. But now, the other thing was that I noticed filling up with gas was a Class A camper, motorhome, Class A. That's the one that has the overhang over the driver's cabin. That is the funniest thing. I just saw somebody let their dog out of the car, and the dog just literally hightailed it to where he was going to be able to run at the local school. And it was like he was on a mission. He knew exactly where to go, and he was going. For any of you who know border collies, they've got this drop down and go mode that they go into. They literally drop down and then run. And that's what he did. He just dropped and then was just like a streaking bullet. It was just wonderful to see. Okay, so where was I on this one? Trying to make somebody's day. So anyway, I saw this really beat up Class A motorhome, and it made me smile because I used to have one. It was where I started, I guess, and I called mine Torty the Tin Tent because everything was so messed up on it and broken and everything that all it really acted as most of the time was a tin tent. And I was very happy for that, I've got to say. It really gave me about 5 years. I bought it for about $8,000 and I put another 4 into it. But it gave me probably about 8 years of absolute pleasure. I just want to check my post box while I'm here. I'll finish the story when I get back. I've spent a good minute or two standing, trying to open up about 10 different mailboxes because I couldn't remember my mailbox number. I knew the key had to fit one of them. That was so funny. I nearly had to ask for help, but I just didn't quit. And it's a bit like the propane, isn't it? I wasn't going to quit today. I was going to keep going until I got propane. I didn't care how long it took me. And so now then, to finish the story, this guy with the really beat up Class A motorhome. And I said to him, how long have you had it? And he said a couple of years. And then immediately said exactly the same as I used to say, which is, yeah, it's a bit of a rust bucket, but my wife and I bought it to find out whether we actually like camping. And I said, well, if you've had it for 2 years, that answers that question. And by the way, it's the beginning of a long journey, because if you have decided you do enjoy it, then the next upgrade is the expensive one. Great memories. So now I'm on my way home, having achieved a lot. It took me longer than I would have liked, but I now have the rest of the afternoon and evening, not much of the afternoon left, quite honestly, but I have the rest of the afternoon and evening to put the computer together and hopefully be able to broadcast with it tomorrow. This is DearMamaSal saying, the way to achieve your goals is to overcome procrastination and keep taking one step at a time until you get to where it is you want to go. So my question of the day is, which one goal will you work on today? Which one goal will you plan? Let's give you a challenge. How about plan 3 steps to take in the next 3 weeks, and plan it to take 1 step a week? How's that? This is DearMamaSal saying, big hugs. Bye for now.